Hello, welcome back to Retropical podcast. This is our second segment, head starting it with Leonard. It might be a day, it might have been a week, it might have been an hour since the first segment.
You
No,
would never
jokes
know.
on you.
You
No,
would
it's
never
it's
know.
it's been a day because we did it too late last night, so we decided to just continue it now.
And Craig was being a
Um,
bitch. And I was couldn't just. Yeah.
yes, definitely. Yeah, but I guess since it's a new day, I guess we'll just have to start with a how are you first as well. How have you been doing, Leonard?
Not particularly well. I think it's because it was too hot today or something. My like
Oh,
I
okay.
had a migraine like sometime around. I think I want to say maybe around 1 or 2 p.m. This
Oh,
afternoon. Yeah.
okay. And now how do you feel? Like, you feel better? Like, what did you do?
Yeah.
Did you rest up or?
I took a nap
Oh, okay.
for 4 hours, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. I mean, at least you're feeling better. Like you're not dying or some sort.
Yeah.
All right. I guess yeah. So I guess with our second segment right now, we're just sparing it into the topic. Just a quick flashback. Yesterday we talked about cancel culture. I think it was a bit too serious for my taste. I when I
Yeah,
recalled our
I
topic.
also thought about it yesterday. I was like, I think I was like way too
And
serious.
weirdly enough, when I tried to put everything together, right, I finished it all in one night last night.
Oh,
And yeah, it's done, it's finished. And but then I realized to myself, like, it got so serious near the end. So I guess before we talk about something even more, not, I don't know if it's equally serious or more serious or
hmm.
perhaps less serious, just wanted to be more a bit more, I guess, a bit more lighthearted first before we dive in.
Hmm.
um as a preliminary question, probably, I want to ask you, what are your top three, I wouldn't say influencers, but more of like top three, people that you follow in terms of, like, YouTubers or actress or celebrities or Twitter or streamers. Who are the three main people you can think of that you would say kind of not made an impact on you, but they yeah, in a way you kind of think about them more often than the others.
Um. So first, definitely when it comes to like YouTubers, it's probably Philo DeFranco. I'm not sure if you know who that is. Philo DeFranco.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, Philo,
interesting.
because
Seems
like
new.
it's he's someone I watch maybe almost every day. I want to say every day, but I don't think that's true. It's like maybe around like 70% of the time, like when I'm on YouTube, I'll probably
Mm.
watch his videos first and then
Yep, yep.
like watch something else. And
Oh,
maybe, yeah,
okay.
yeah, because like
Mm.
he just has like weird like actual in real life news and everything. So like most of the time, I want to keep up with anything, especially if I'm like
Yeah,
not paying attention to the not paying attention to
news
the
and stuff,
internet
right?
or news and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually just like follow him or watch his
Oh,
video.
I used to also kind of watch him last time on a daily basis when I was, I think, like back in the days, but I actually fell in love with his other channel, which was like
Oh yeah, yeah,
SourceFed.
yeah. Is it? Are you talking about the podcast?
Oh no, it was
Oh,
actually a channel with, like, I don't know what they do, but it's basically SourceFed was made up of like this group of,
oh,
I think, four or
okay, yeah,
five
yeah. You're talking
people.
about for SourceFed. Yeah, yeah, okay, okay.
Yeah, and they did news, but at the same time, like, they did it in a very, like, kind of internet personality kind of style. That was my
Mhm.
first time encountering like internet personalities.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I kind of know who Philip DeFranco is. Okay,
Yeah,
so who's your
if
second
it's
and third?
Phil Franco, then I can't really say anyone else that I would like definitely like that pops into mind that would say like someone who affected me. I guess maybe
Oh,
because
dang.
yeah,
Okay.
I think Phil DeFranco is the only one I can definitely think of. It's like I wouldn't say change my perspective in life, but like he was the one
Mm.
where I was like, oh, there's like so many more things in the
Yeah, in the
world.
world out there,
Yeah,
yeah. I guess yours is more like, yeah, you followed him consistently. I mean, like, it's not a seasonal kind of thing, right?
yeah. It's like almost consistent. Like if I'm
Yeah.
just lost in it, like, let's say I went to like if I go on the internet, it's like what the hell is up with these memes? It's like why is
Yeah.
everyone making fun of this person or like why is everyone so outraged about this one thing or blah blah blah. Like if there's anything like that, I would just like okay, just go to Phil DeFranco, look up maybe some of the
He'd
older
be the
videos that he
first one
has.
that you'd
Yeah.
search, right, for knowledge. Yeah,
Mhm.
I understand. Like I guess like I didn't realize that it was kind of difficult for you to kind of list out three because in my head I had quite a lot of numbers, kind.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So to narrow it
That's my
down.
meant. That's what I meant as well. Like I had too many people in my head where like I can definitely say, oh, this
Oh.
person impacted me in
Mm.
a significant way. If oh, actually, sorry. If there's anyone I would probably mention in addition to that, it's probably Lindsay Ellis. Actually, sorry.
Oh,
I'm
I
not sure
don't
who.
know who that is. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
that one.
I bet you would love her if you watch her
Oh,
videos. I think I have a feeling that you might like her.
what's her name? Lindsay?
Lindsay Ellis. So Lindsay as in
Okay.
Lind as a
Yeah.
y
Yeah.
and Ellis Eiis.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll look it up after this podcast,
Yeah, she
maybe.
covers like cinema stuff, but prominently I found her out regarding her Disney videos, the one that she made.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I guess for me, the top three, I guess in my head would probably be like first would be Bubs. Bubs vlogs. I don't know if you know
Oh
her.
yeah, yeah, her, yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember I was so obsessed with her back in high school. So, I mean, now I don't really watch some of her videos anymore, but like,
Is she still
I,
around?
s-
Like, is she still
she's
making
still
videos?
around, and there's been a lot of crazy stuff happening in her life right now. If I'm not wrong, she's actually separated already with her husband from her husband,
Mhm.
and that was like a huge blow to me last year. Like, I
Oh,
cried here, I cried listening and hearing it. I was like, yeah, that affected me so much because I was like, oh god, my view of marriage was just like. Yeah, but yeah, I would say she's someone that influenced my life quite a bit.
mhm.
And then I guess the next one would probably be Funhouse. Funhouse and Achievement
Yeah,
Hunter, like
Funhouse.
they come in pairs. Yeah, you know, like I've
Yeah,
been
you're like a huge fan of that. Like,
yeah. And I'm so happy like my what is it? My cousin actually watches Funhouse and Achievement Hunter too. So like I bonded with him over that
mm,
over the past few years. But yeah, apart from those two, I guess yeah, there's not really any other. Maybe Jenna Marbles, but it's like she's a staple to YouTube. Like everybody knows her, so it's kind of yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say Jenna Marbles, but I would say if it comes to influential stuff, it probably would be Bubs and Funhouse, I guess.
oh, okay.
Um, yeah, so I guess the reason why I'm asking you this question is because we want to reel into the topic at hand, which is about YouTubers mostly, right? The YouTube drama that's been happening over the
Yeah.
past few months.
Yep. Um,
So yep.
regarding the topic that I'm just gonna talk about, it's still gonna like connect to what about? It's still gonna connect to cancel culture specifically.
Yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So it's like it's still going to be like related to cancel culture, but yeah, it is more related to like just YouTube and Twitch a little
Yeah.
bit in general, and also just like the general idea of like, do you support or not support cancel culture? Like at the end of the day, if that
Right,
makes sense.
right.
Yep.
It goes back to that, right? It goes back to
Yeah. Yeah.
cancel culture.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess the matter at hand or like what was it called? The case at hand was actually regarding like some YouTubers, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So I think before anything, you should probably start with what's going on. Fill us up. Fill us up. Oops, I meant fill us in
Mm-hmm.
on the deets. So
Okay.
yeah, go.
Uh, so a few weeks ago, I like to say probably like almost a month now. There was two cases that I'm gonna talk about, and it's regarding H3H3 and Keemstar, which is a huge
Right.
thing in YouTube at some point where like everyone was basically talking about them. I didn't
Yeah,
want to
I
talk
think it
about
was
them. Yeah,
3 months, a few weeks ago.
yeah, it was about 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago.
Yep.
I didn't really want to talk about them like 2 weeks ago in a particular
Mm-hmm.
at a point because like I was thinking I want to see the situation once it died down a bit, like when
Okay.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I wanted to see like once all these videos and all the people has like completed their outrage and stuff like that and their reactions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I wanted to see like how what happened after that, what do you call it? Like the aftermath of that event essentially. So for those who don't know, H3H3 and Keemstar are large prominent YouTubers. H3H3 in particular is quite famous for being basically the godfather of the commentary channel. Like he basically made that genre famous, or at least
Oh,
popular.
okay.
Yeah. He wasn't
Okay, I
the
didn't
first
know
to
that.
do it by any chance, but he was the first one
Yeah.
to basically make it comedic. Like he basically analyzed or reacted to um, people doing terrible shit, and it's like, oh man,
All
you're so
right, right.
stupid. Yeah,
This
yeah.
this is this is different. This is different than review reaction channels. Yeah, this is commentary channel.
Technically, some people may call him a reaction channel, which is fair, I think, because that's all he really
Okay.
does. Yeah.
Yep.
He
Yep.
does. He's, but I would say like he's somewhere between like commentary and like a reaction channel. But yeah,
Yep.
so he was a pretty big YouTuber. He started out like making small like weird sketches about poop or something like that. Like it's a long story. But
Okay.
yeah, it's a long story. But he was definitely famous. He became famous specifically for his reaction, and also some of his more unique sketches. Most notably, Vape Nation. I'm not sure whether you know anything about that.
I think I've heard of it, but I don't actually. When you say sketches, you mean like skits, right?
Yeah, skits,
Okay, because
sketches.
I originally I thought you meant like drawings, and I was like, what? He's drawing. His drawings got famous. But I've heard of Vape Nation. I've also heard of Keemstar, but I've never really delved into that
Into those, that's right.
community or yeah.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, basically that's what who H3H3 is. Meanwhile, Keemstar is a self-proclaimed news channel.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I wanna like
A bit
okay,
debatable, but
okay, it's a little debatable. Like I'm oh all right. Before I introduce Keemstar, I'm gonna preface saying I have a bias against Keemstar. I really don't like the guy.
okay, yeah. I
that's
mean,
that's one thing everyone like who's listening should know. I do not like the guy.
yeah.
So if I sound overly positive talking about Keemstar, you'll know why.
Wait. You don't like the guy, but you're talking
No,
about.
like when if I talk very badly about him, basically, if I talk very negatively
Okay.
about him,
Yep,
you'll know
yep.
why. Yeah.
Understood. All right. Go on.
So he's a self-proclaimed news channel, but he mostly just covers like rumors and what do you call it, like gossip, like YouTube drama
Mm-hmm.
gossip, and that's
Mm-hmm.
and he's also like the host of the Drama Alert. By the way, I forgot to mention his channel's name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
his
one that I know of from
yeah.
him, Drama Alert.
Drama Alert is his show, and he's the host of it. And he basically does like news, like YouTube news, I guess, like internety news,
Yeah, it's
essentially.
not it's not like global news mostly. I think
Yep,
it's
yep,
more
yep.
of like if there's beauty guru pitting against each other or any like scandal over some YouTube channel or YouTubers that he's the one to talk shit about, right?
Yeah, essentially. But like he's gotten a lot of controversy for quite a while now.
Oh
A lot
yeah,
of people.
I've seen some, especially about the recently deceased Tika.
Etika, yep.
There was some shit
We'll
going
we'll
on.
get to that later. We'll get to that
Yep,
later.
yep.
But like in additional to other than that, he also has
Mm-hmm.
accused an old man for being a pedophile. He doxed people. So these are like, and he was a racist. He called people N word essentially.
And he still has high followers, right? Like I mean high followings, right? If I'm not wrong, he
Yeah,
actually
he still
has
has a
quite a
pretty
number.
strong following. Yep.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but that's all I'm gonna say about him. I don't particularly like him. And to be fair, I also don't like H3H3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't like. I forgot to mention this, but I don't like either of these two people. Just saying.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just that I don't like Keemstar even more. If that makes any
Yeah.
sense.
Well, I think in terms of content, there was actually a time in my life where I actually watched some content from H3H3.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly, I think his podcast highlights and also like some of his commentary videos. I think the famous one that I watched was the mukbang one, the weird mukbang
Oh yeah.
crazy
Okay.
animal abuse one, and the
Mm-hmm.
one with Trisha Paytas, the one that was like very dramatic, like some shit happened between the two of them, right?
Yeah. Like they just don't like each other.
Yeah, so I knew about that. But then like I also know in the internet he's quite well known to be like kind of a dick.
Yeah.
So
Are you talking about H3H3 or?
yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah,
a little bit.
both of them are dicks.
Yeah.
So okay, yep,
Um.
yep, yep.
Yep. So those are like a very short introduction between the two. Now the thing is that in the span of like almost a month ago, H3H3 basically made a video against Keemstar call it like called content nuke, which is supposed to be a parody of Content Cop by iDubbbz.
He made what? Content nuke, right? If I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
wrong.
called Content Nuke.
Yep.
Keemstar. That's in the video. Now, in the video, he basically called out Keemstar for all the terrible things that he did in the past. So, things like the ones I mentioned before regarding him uh calling an old Twitch streamer. Like he was an old man. So there's like this old man that who was streaming and basically called him a pedophile without any evidence. He doxed people, like calling out their numbers and address.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Which we have both agreed in the discussion
In the in the
Skype
previous yeah in the previous
that it's
discussion that like
horrible. It's a
it's
horrible
it's a
act.
terrible thing to do because like you're
Yep.
basically just because you don't like that person, you decide to basically reveal, like make them vulnerable, like open them
Yep.
out into the internet to get shot at essentially.
Yep.
Then he's also what was it? So wait, I mentioned the pedophile. I mentioned the doxing. Oh, he also like basically like there was a very famous clip of him saying the N word like pretty freaking hard R.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, and recently, yeah, and so he basically called Keemstar for all of this. Now, in that video,
Yeah.
he also constantly mentioned the sponsor of Keemstar called G Fuel.
Yep.
Yep, and G Fuel uh has been a pretty much a prominent sponsorship for Keemstar for quite a while. I'd say maybe well over 3 years, I think.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's pretty
like
long.
he has always been like basically constantly put G Fuel in front of his like little table desk setup thing for like a long time now. And so in that video, H3H3 has constantly saying, like man, how can G Fuel be supporting this guy? Blah blah blah, this and that stuff. Blah, blah,
Yeah.
and like, does G Fuel really want to be associated with this terrible person, considering all the things that he's done and blah blah blah, this and that, and like the video was like okay, I think personally, like yeah, sure, it basically called out all the things that H3H3 did, but to be honest, there's a lot of people who made these types of videos before.
But then okay, my understanding is that the video that he actually made on Keemstar was actually just a compilation, right? And he's just basically talking about all these compilations, right?
Yeah. There's basically it's like a compilation of all the terrible things that
Right.
Keemstar has done essentially.
Then
But
my question is,
yeah.
just to get a understanding of why it came to be this way.
Mhm.
What was the purpose of him making this video in the first place? Like, did H3H3 suddenly wake up in the morning and was like, I'm gonna shit on Keemstar today? Or was it because there was something going on with Keemstar and then H3H3 decided to make like a
Oh, okay, no.
opportunity?
Regarding that, I don't know the exact reason, but to be like for context, H3H3 has disliked Keemstar for a while now, for a very long while. They both don't like each other for a very long time. They basically called each other out on Twitter, like basically throwing shade in each other. Now to be fair, they're both pretty terrible at it. Like they basically called them out for very very personal stupid shit. Like very petty stupid shit, and like
Definitely.
so annoying to hear. But yeah, it's they and I'm not sure what triggered this move. I'm not sure what triggered H3H3 to suddenly make a Keemstar nuke or whatever. Because like I think iDubbbz made a video about it. I can't remember, but yeah, like there's already a tons of people out there who has made like what called has insulted or like made videos criticizing Keemstar essentially.
Yeah.
And
But we don't know why, right?
yeah, we don't know the exact reason why H3H3 in particular did it, but we do know that that he made the video and he made 3 videos after that. I think there's like content fallout or something like that. So,
oh yeah, I think I heard like
which I'll get to later. Yeah, but talking back regarding the previous
GPO.
video, what again? I found the video, at least content nuke in specific.
Yeah.
I found the content nuke to be it's an okay video. Mostly because,
Okay.
like I said, all the stuff that like H3H3 mentioned in the video
Yep.
is like it is something that you've seen already. Like everyone pretty much knows about this. Like calling like he like the fact that like H3H3 docs sorry, the fact that Keemstar docs people, or he called that old man pedophile and whatnot, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty well known, and he's also not very good with like dealing with mental disease illness. He thinks it doesn't exist or whatever, like stuff like that.
Yep.
People like, if you're someone who don't like Keemstar or at least follow him a little bit,
You
you kind of know
probably
that
know.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably
Yep.
know that already. But the
Yep.
the one thing that H3H3 did differently compared to other his other critic was the fact that like he mentioned G Fuel.
Yes.
Yeah, he constant like he base. I think he only mentioned. I can't remember exactly how many times he did it, but he at least mentioned it like 2 or 3 times. I think like he
Yeah.
mentioned G Fuel.
But he mentioned it casually, right? As in, like, it's more of like, why does G Fuel sponsor this guy? Why?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. In a
Yeah.
rather like a like casual like, oh yeah, he's just like, it's a passing comment. I would probably call it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
As a
was like
comment.
a passing comment. They're just, hey,
Yeah.
GVO, why support this guy? Blah, blah, blah. And I think some of H3H3's followers saw that,
This is the part.
and yeah, he saw that and it's basically, oh, you know what? Let's call it G Fuel for this. Like, why is G Fuel supporting H3H3 and blah blah blah, and like uh and so eventually, I'm not sure which one is true.
Hmm.
G Fuel eventually don't stop having like Keemstar on their like sponsorship page or something like that.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So and Keemstar mentioned on Twitter. I'd like to say on Twitter, saying that he like G Fuel didn't actually drop Keemstar. Keemstar like basically told him, hey, stop sponsoring me, because like at the moment there might be people who like constantly pressuring you and so on and so forth. Blah, blah, blah.
Wait. Wait. So Keemstar clarified that it was him who asked G Fuel to stop sponsoring.
Yeah, and it's not. It has nothing to do with like the fact that like people like, and he wasn't dropped essentially. Sorry, he wasn't
Oh,
like
but
G.
what? So he wasn't dropped, but he no longer has G Fuel on his, like, the whatever you said in the front of his thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, in the front in their front page or something, the sponsorship page or something like that.
Okay.
So yeah,
Weird.
so he's no longer, yeah, he no longer had like G Fuel sponsorship, but Keemstar did clarify saying like, I like when I wasn't dropped, I just told G Fuel to maybe calm down with the sponsorship for a little while until the situation blows over. That's what they said about that. And now
It's
the
kind
thing is
of
that we don't
weird.
know. We don't really have any evidence that says
Yeah.
otherwise.
Yeah.
We would all we do know is that G Fuel is no longer sponsoring Keemstar, at least at this point in time,
Yep. Yeah.
right?
That sucks though. That
Yeah, that sucked, and this prompted quite a bit of criticism against H3H3,
definitely.
because yeah, because this basically, because he basically used something that he was quite like against, he because H3H3 is pretty famous for being against cancel culture. He absolutely hates it. He's like, what's up with cancel culture? It's like so stupid, blah blah blah, this and that. Um, and
But
so
ironically, what he's doing is
yeah, he
making it
basically
happen. Yeah.
made it happen. Now the thing is that he mentioned on Twitter saying that he didn't expect that GVO actually dropped him,
Yep.
and said that he had no intention of actually having G Fuel dropping it, like G Fuel to drop Keemstar. Like, he had absolutely no intent of that ever actually happening.
Well, honestly, if because I haven't watched the whole video, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I'll ever want to watch it there. But I feel like if he had actually come across as like you said, a passing comment, and it was just a casual and bewilderment state of like, what the heck? Why would G Fuel sponsor this dude? I kind of would believe that he actually meant what he meant by saying that he didn't expect for this to blow up that bad. Probably he thought it was just a casual, harmless comment of like, why would G Fuel sponsor this, not knowing that he has avid followers who would go through such length to destroy his enemy.
Here's the thing, okay? So yeah, he did mention that the fact that he didn't expect this to ever happen, and like just like you said, since it was passing comment, he might not
Mm,
expect his followers to do it.
mm.
But I don't know. Like I think it's really irresponsible for him to do that to begin with. Like he's aware, he should be aware, like what cancel culture can do, and how the fact that like your fans are not you, but they
Yeah,
represent you anyway. If that makes any sense,
yeah.
right?
I kind of understand. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's like you have, I don't know how many subscribers, like at least 6 million viewers or something. Let's say half of that is subscribers, like 3 million subscribers. Let's say you have like 3 million fans or something that you can weaponize anytime, right?
Yeah.
Like you can basically call them out to do to destroy someone's career,
Yeah.
and you can do so in a casual manner, just like I mentioned regarding him just a passing comment, right?
Yeah.
Like just saying what he said, like basically just saying, "Oh, why is G Fuel still sponsoring this guy?" is incredibly like irresponsible.
I think you're right because in a sense of like if we had mentioned that, if we had like for example, if we were doing a comment and we said that why would G Fuel sponsor a person? Nobody would give a shit. They just
Yeah,
take it as a grain of salt. Like, oh,
yeah,
these two people don't like them. I don't like him. But if it was like someone with around 6 million followings, obviously it might lead to a kind of like a weapon, like you said, weaponizing your fans to come after your enemy, essentially.
yeah, essentially, yeah.
And I think you're right, because I think before you mentioned it to me, I was actually watching Charlie's video on it a few
Hmm.
weeks ago, and he said how it's scary because now it sets a precedent of like your sponsorship might go to ruins just because someone doesn't like you and they have enough followings to
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 essentially
knock
destroy you, destroy
yeah
your career.
to
Yep.
knock on your sponsor's door and tell them to drop you. That's scary because now it's no longer a free will kind of thing. It's essentially it's like who's more famous will thrive more, which scares me because it's like the thing is what scares me is also companies like Charlie's mentioned before, and I'm pretty sure we also know it, but I'm just gonna reiterate the fact that companies don't give a shit most of the time about the personality they're sponsoring.
Yeah, yeah,
All
exactly.
they
Yeah,
want to
that's
do, yeah, all they want to do is have their brands out, get lots of revenues from this one particular influencer. But if anything goes wrong with this influencer, they would just drop you in a heartbeat if if it just takes too much effort to kind of like control the backlash.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
It's like it's exactly that. 'Cause companies just don't care. They were just gonna look at their emails like, oh, this person is racist or whatever. It's like they're gonna drop you,
yeah,
no matter
yeah,
whether it's true or not, or whether or not
yeah,
they're like, because they don't have time for that. Like they don't sponsor YouTubers because of integrity, or like we like this shit. No, no, they sponsor YouTubers because of numbers, because of like money. Like they get
yeah, for
viewers to
sure.
watch their ads essentially.
For sure. I mean, unless you have like a company who really cares about you as an individual influencer who cares about how you are, and which is very rare because most of the time corporations who do sponsorships, they are the ones that are like basically mm, probably that corporation itself is actually owned by a higher, bigger entity like what Disney,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
his
exactly.
podcast. So they won't give a shit. They won't give a shit if they drop you or not. So if a huge fans of people are against you because of this other person that they follow, and they go to your sponsor and be like, "Hey, we don't want this person to be sponsored by you," they can't do anything about it because it's like what the people want. They have to do it, or else corporately they're gonna get fucked in terms of business.
Mm-hmm.
And it's scary because it's like you said, cancel culture is it has some what is it called? It has some effects, which is this costing someone's livelihood. Because now, as much as I don't like Keemstar or I don't really have a good impression, you have to say that his what is it called? His revenue is it or like basically his the money or the cash that he earns from the sponsorship is no longer there because of what H3H3.
Yeah, and the thing is that whether H3H3 has intent, like has the intent of canceling his sponsorship, like, or not, like whether that's true or not, like whether he really meant like, oh, to basically cancel Keemstar or not. The damage has been done.
Yep.
The damage
Yep.
has been done, and whether or not you mean for it to happen, you are responsible for it. You are, because the thing is that cancel culture, like the one that we mentioned before, like the one we mentioned yesterday, that's happened for a long time now,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? That's happened so for a long time, and like people have knew the fact that like cancel culture is an actual weapon, like it can actually be used, but it's never been used to this point. It's
Yeah. You're
never
right.
been used to in such a large scale by a large YouTuber, because they know themselves, like if they get canceled by someone, it's a terrible thing, so they never do it, right?
Yeah. No.
Now,
Yeah.
oh wait, I
Exactly.
also want to mention one thing. Like Keemstar actually has done something very similar to what H3H3 did before, so
Right.
as
I
well. Yeah.
actually wait. He had done it to another person, or did he do it back to H3H3? Because
I think he did it to another person before what H3H3 did. But again,
oh,
it
okay.
doesn't. Yeah, but again, like I said, it doesn't excuse what
Yeah.
H3H3 did. Yeah, just
No,
just
but
say.
what I heard was also the fact that like after he got dropped by G Fuel, Keemstar kind of in a way also went after who is that H3H sponsor, and so his
Yep.
sponsor also dropped him, which was, if I'm not wrong, was it Old Spice?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. It was Old
Yeah,
Spice.
it was also a long-term sponsorship, and it was dropped because of Keemstar's fans going
Mm-hmm.
after Old Spice for like following H3H3, which you see now it sets a motion of like this is a
Sets a
possibility
precedent.
that
Yeah, yeah.
exactly it sets how people can actually do this in the far near future, which scares the shit out of me because it's like you now it really means the quote of what is it? The more you are liked or the more you are popular, the more you have power. It actually is a reflection of that quote.
Yeah. And like I said, whether he liked it, or like whether he liked it, or whether he has had an intent of
Mm.
basically canceling Keemstar or not, the damage has been done, and you have been hit by that in some way, in one way or another as well, because of that.
So
You
you
know?
told me Keemstar also did it before.
Yeah, I can't remember to whom exactly, but he did like do what H3H did to a smaller YouTuber. I think I just can't remember who it was. So
Wow. Yeah, I
yeah.
didn't know about that either. But see, that's the thing. Like for me, what I see is that it just it's horrible. But the thing is, I wouldn't also kind of fully blame the YouTubers who are saying all these, but it's also kind of the followers who I hate to say it, but it's like they don't have a mind of their own to kind of think twice about what they're doing.
Hmm.
Like they're so blinded by following this one YouTuber that they like that they would bash another person and cost them their livelihood or cost them their source of income.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's what I meant regarding like H3H3 as well, because like your fans are not you. Like they don't they're not gonna do the things that you're gonna do essentially, right?
Yes.
But they do represent you.
Yes.
They are what they do reflects on you as a person,
Yep.
as
Yep.
a right,
Yep.
whether you like it or not.
Yeah, yeah, I was about to say that whether they like it or not, because it comes with a cost. When you're popular, when you have a lot of followings, there is some sort of responsibility that you have to burden with how you
Mhm.
carry yourself.
and
You
and
know?
so that's what I meant regarding like how it's like the cancel culture regarding, especially regarding the like the smaller scale, right? Like it used to be a small thing. It used to be like there was still effect, right? There was still an
Yeah.
effect. Like we mentioned this yesterday, there was an effect. But now it's like you could actually target money. You can actually target livelihood, because that's
Yes.
what because that's what because back in the day, people like there was a cancel culture that people that usually see on a regular basis, like at least in a smaller scale, has always been
Yeah.
against like companies, right?
At least when it comes to monetary attacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Monetary, like the monetary attack of cancel culture usually hits like corporations, usually like businesses, like large companies, right?
Yes. Yes.
Or either that or like smaller influencers, I suppose, like influencers or
Yep.
smaller YouTubers, right?
Yep. Yep.
So it like so like the damage or at least the impact of that form of cancel culture wasn't as big, at least,
Yep.
or at the very least not as big as um like let's say a company, for example, like a company being canceled is pretty large, but it doesn't really affect them all that much, if that makes any sense, right?
And I don't think a company can truly be cancelled unless they did something really badly, like which led them to bankruptcy. But I mean, Disney has gotten a lot of under flames. Some other companies have also been under flames for a lot of things they do or some shitty stuff they do, but they still live on. They still thrive. They still have stocks in
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
market.
That's what I meant.
You
But
know?
now, the fact that like it's being used by like large YouTubers with like pretty sizable like following is doing like basically using this against other
There's
people.
these
It's
companies.
yeah,
Yeah.
against it's pretty huge. Like the implications of this is pretty big. You know.
It's like a backdoor thing. I feel because back then it used to be more frontal, where it's like, okay, you don't want this person and you want this person canceled. So like socially, people would be ganging up on this person and like making them kind of irrelevant in a way because you're canceling them. They're no longer relevant or no longer standing out in the public's eye, right? But then now
Mm-hmm.
it's no longer the public's eye that's the concern. Now it's more of like an attack from the back because they go through their source of income, which is, for example, sponsorships. So they go through like the companies that back them up, destroy that link, and they are just left with them nothing. It's now, like you said, now it's become a monetary cancellation of someone as compared to just
Mm-hmm.
canceling their reputation or their face,
Yeah, exactly.
which is scary as fuck, honestly. Cause like,
Yeah,
okay,
it's
hmm?
no, no, continue.
No, and then like I get and like what you said, like the fact that these people who are canceling doing this canceling are actually followers of a public figure who said some like passing remark, probably saying that, for example, I don't like Robinson. Is it Robinson? I forgot. Okay, like, oh, I don't like J Cole, and then they just can't start canceling J Cole. Or but this time around, it's not even the J Cole as a company, but it's a person. Like a person, to cancel a person based on that, on the fact that one public figure doesn't like this other person. And what scares me is that this relates back to the topic, to the highlight, to the point that you wanted to mention, which was involving Pokimane.
Yeah, Pokimane. Yeah.
Yeah,
Her
yeah,
name is
it's
Pokimane.
it's
Yep,
supposed
correct.
to be Pokimane, right? But I don't know why. Whenever I
Yeah.
read her thing, the thing that comes to my mind is Pokimane because, like, okay, I hate for like profiling her, but I honestly at first glance I thought she was Asian, so I thought it was like a Japanese name.
I think she was. I think she was French, Asian or something. She's like half or half
Yeah,
and
she
half.
she
I know she's half something. I think.
she has a bit of Asian, is it? I'm not sure, but
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think so.
okay. Yeah, but basically with Pokimane, like something happened as well, right? Where I think she canceled another channel as well, who was like way smaller than her. Is it?
Yep. Yeah. I'm so. I'm gonna mention her right now because like I think we can pass on from the H3H3 Keemstar story. And that so regarding the Pokemon story, so there's this YouTuber called ItsAGundam, right?
Yeah,
That's his
yeah, yeah.
name. He basically made a video, not even bashing Pokimane in particular. He's not actually making fun of her. He's actually
Yep,
making fun of people who followed her, like what he calls are basically simps, right? Her simps.
yep. Wasn't it the one who like supported her so much that they went homeless? Was that it?
Yes, yes, yes. So yeah,
Yep.
so on Twitter, there's like basically a couple of, or at least a few posts where there's people like I'm not sure whether it's jokingly or not, like whether it's jokes or
Mhm.
serious, but either
Mhm.
way, it's like a cause of concern, right? So
Yeah.
um, there was basically like a bunch of Twitter pictures and posts basically saying like I've been simping on Pokimane so much. Like I love her so much that I've gone homeless just to do this, like just to
Yes.
sustain
Yes.
like giving her money, like donating to her, right? Which is like
Yeah.
if it's true, if they are homeless, that's a terrible thing. But even if it's not true, it's a cause of concern, right? It's like something like you should take at least seriously as a content creator. Like let's say there's literal people. I mean, like this will probably never fucking happen. But if someone were to donate their money constantly to me to support me instead of like to support themselves or to support their own
Yeah.
families, and
Yeah.
they go homeless because of it, I would
Yeah.
like even if as a joke, like please don't, like
Yeah.
like please
Yeah.
don't do this.
Yeah.
Let
Yeah.
me refund your donations because
It's
this is
like
a
the New
bad thing.
Zealand
You shouldn't be
guy.
doing this. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Kiwi guy. Yeah. But and so it's Gundam is mostly made fun of these people and not on Pokimane herself,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, but then Pokimane reacted to this video rather negatively for good reasons, right?
For good reasons.
For a good reason, because here's the thing. I kind of found this video, the one that he made, quite hilarious,
Yes.
right? But at the same time, if you're a content creator and like you're like he's threatening your income in any way, like for example your Sims, you will be mad. So that's the thing, because like I mean I don't particularly hate Pokemon in any way. Like I have no feelings for her. I don't really care what she does.
Yeah.
But all I do know about her is that she has a terrible history of dealing with criticism.
Oh yeah, she does.
Yeah, yeah, she's not particularly very good in dealing with hate comments or
Yep. Yep.
being insulted. Yeah, she's one of those types of like who basically takes the criticism and like act as if nothing happens.
Yep.
It's like whatever. I'm like blah 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 this and that and this and that. Um, so like for good reasons, I think I know why she's mad, but at the same time, it's not a great thing because like what she did after. So she
But
reacted
wait,
to this video.
was she
Hmm?
wait, was she mad for her simp or like she
I
just
don't know.
okay.
I have no idea. But from the looks
Okay.
of it, I think she's mad because she's assuming that it's a Gundam was bashing her. I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep, yep, yep. Okay, okay. Go
Yep.
on.
Cause yeah, and so she was streaming this video. Like basically, one of her fans sent her a video saying like, "Hey, watch this video." Someone was
Yep,
like either making fun of you or like your viewers and stuff like that. And
yep.
she reacted to it very badly.
Horribly.
Not negatively.
Horribly.
Like I don't like in what I meant by badly. I mean she didn't take it well, and she didn't take it in a way where people can respect her or at the very least like take her
Side
insults
with
well.
her, right? Yeah.
Yeah, side
Yeah.
with her, in a good way. Because she was very like the way she reacted was very very bad. She almost looked like a child having a tantrum. If that's like if that's in any way
Yeah.
a way you can ever describe her reaction. Because like
Yeah. I
she's
remember
like yeah
I remember the quote where she said on site or something like that and I was like
yeah. So
I was
she's
laughing.
basically saying if I see your sponsor
Mm.
on
Mhm.
my DMs or on my
Mhm.
emails, right? On site.
Mhm.
I will kick them on site. I would even care about them. Which again, it's not good for you to say that because not only did you not take the criticism well, like it's not even a criticism on her. It's a criticism
Yeah.
on people that's simping on her, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's not even like oh Pokimane is a terrible person. No, like people who likes Pokimane are terrible people, right? Or like
Yeah. Yeah.
terrible fans or something like that.
Yeah.
And the way she reacted was just not great. She basically called this person like like bashing on her or something like that, like without any evidence or whatever. And she's uh like what again? Oh look at like this small YouTuber is making fun of another person. I want to put like she. This is me paraphrasing, but she basically said something along the lines of um, like if oh look, it's a small YouTuber making fun of of another person. Want to put my logo on that one or something like that. Like her reaction was not.
Yeah. Yeah. She went to dislike him, right? Like dislike his videos, right?
Yeah, dislike his video, which is obviously, but again, the way she reacted was just in a way where like no one could support her. or at the very
Yeah.
least accept people who are like simping on her, you know, like
Yep.
it makes her terrible. It makes her look bad. And the part where
Yep.
you said we're like on site, you know, like basically she's basically saying like if I see anyone like it's a Gundam sponsor, which was I think Ridge Wallet is their company, right?
Uh-huh.
If I see Ridge Wallet on my DMs on my emails, I'll kick you. I won't even look at you. I won't even pay attention to your sponsorship. I don't care.
Oh, I didn't
Which
know
make her
about
sound
this.
yeah, which make her sound entitled. No, it's not that. But you said it's on site, right? Like on site. That's what you saw her do, right? She's
Yeah, I
basically
heard
saying
her say.
X on site. Yeah, she's like X on site. I'm not like X as in I'm not gonna accept your sponsorship. That's what she
Oh,
meant.
I thought some people were saying that like she wanted to pick a fight. So if she ever sees them, if she ever sees like Gundam or maybe the sponsors, I thought it was Gundam personally. Like if she ever sees Gundam,
Hmm.
she's on site going to pick a fight with him. I thought that was the case, but what you're
No, no,
saying
no,
was
no, no,
that
no. She was talking about the sponsorship. She was talking about Ridge Wallet in specific.
yeah. So I mean, so
Uh,
it's a Gundam is actually sponsored. It's being sponsored,
yeah, he was
right?
sponsored for that video in specific, the one where he was talking about the Sims. He was sponsored by Ridge Wallet.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, okay. And
yep.
she was saying that if they ever come to her to offer a sponsorship, she would just reject them.
He was not gonna accept it. Yeah, she's going to reject it basically.
Oh, not
She's
now
not.
that you've kind of clarified that to me, I feel like wow, she's so entitled.
Yeah, it sounds terrible. It makes her sound like this. Oh, look at me! I'm a big content influencer, whatnot, and like I'm going and I have a power over corporation or something. Like I said, the way she presented herself did not make her look good. It made her look very, very bad.
Yeah,
She
it's
she
as
just
if
has a
like
history of not dealing with criticism very well. I think she just needs to
true,
learn how
true.
to.
I think it just sounds so wrong. Like as in, there are YouTubers out there looking for sponsors, trying to find sponsors, and here she is just blatantly saying she won't accept it just because of this one guy who's they are sponsoring because she doesn't like the guy's content of making fun of her, which was not made against her. Like personally not against her, the video. I thought that was
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly.
Wow. I
It's
didn't know that.
yeah.
So wait, so what happened to the sponsor? Like, did her fans
Um,
started to go after the sponsor to
no.
drop?
Here's
Oh,
the
okay, that's
funny
good.
thing about that. No. Here's the funny thing about that. So, Rich Wallet, funnily enough,
Yeah.
instead of like dropping Gundam, I'm not sure whether they dropped Gundam in specific, but they did get an increase in sponsorship instead. They started sponsoring everyone.
Oh, you mean they sponsored other people, like more other people?
Yeah, they sponsored
Wow.
everyone else that was even basically making fun of her reaction essentially, which I found to be incredibly ironic and
Oh,
hilarious personally.
what? Wait. So they specifically sponsored channels who made fun of Pokimane.
I think so. I'm not sure if that's true, but from what I
Wow.
know, like, there's a bunch of YouTubers that I watch who are like covering the reaction, like her
Yeah.
reaction,
Yeah.
and they were essentially constantly making fun of her, like, and Rich Wallet was sponsoring them. But
Yeah.
there was still an effect regarding like It's a Gundam specifically. Because of what Pokimane said regarding like if I see your sponsor on my email, I'm not gonna accept it or
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah.
Because of
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
comment, It's Gundam did drop a potential sponsor.
Did drop
So he did
as
get
in
yeah, he got dropped by
oh,
a
you mean a
uh
potential. Yep.
yeah, so It's a Gundam was emailed by he didn't mention who it was that sponsored him,
Yep.
but he mentioned it was
Obviously, for
his
legal
biggest
reasons.
yeah. Yeah, for legal reasons. He did say it was his biggest sponsor yet. Like it was a gaming company or something like that. And
Oh.
yeah, I don't know who it is. I can only guess it's Nintendo or Ubisoft.
No, Nintendo. Oh no, that's so
It could like
sad.
like I said, I don't know who it is, but he said it's big, and even some people who talked to It's a Gundam regarding it said it was really big company, like even big like the company that was sponsoring It's a Gundam, or at least was going to sponsor It's a Gundam.
Yeah.
was much bigger than any company who has ever sponsored me specifically. That's like another YouTuber that I was watching regarding this.
Damn. And it was because of
Yeah,
Pokimane
and
that he didn't get it.
yes, yes. And
That
so when
sucks.
yeah, it was it's really bad. It's unfortunate essentially for it's a Gundam. To be fair, it's a Gundam took it very well. He's like, I don't care. It's like I'm doing this just to make fun of like Twitcher like streamers or whatever, which is pretty good on his part. Again,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm gonna preface this saying I don't like it's a Gundam either. Like I think his like I like his content, I respect his content, but I don't like the way he presents it. It seems a
Because it's
little
a bit
like
attacky, right?
yeah, it's a little attacky. It reminds me a bit of I'm not sure if you know Leafy. Leafy is here.
Oh, I've heard of Leafy, but I don't watch his content. But yeah, I've heard of
Oh
Leafy.
yeah, yeah. He
I know
like a
I know
Gundam. It's a
Diesel.
Gundam sounds a bit kind of like Leafy, which like I don't particularly like. But I do
Yeah,
respect
yeah,
his content. I really like the fact that like he basically makes fun of all these like thoughts and sims and like just weird
yeah,
streamers in
yeah,
general.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's another case of like basically very short, but also very like the like a small effect of like the cancel culture of basically big YouTubers or big content creators
Mm.
attacking like even smaller ones. Like even like It's a Gundam is not that big of a YouTube channel. It's like I think 100,000 ish compared to Pokimane at
Yeah,
least.
yeah. Oh, obviously, everyone knows
Yeah,
Pokemon. But
yeah.
I
It's
think
like
for me,
to be.
mm,
It's like yeah. I don't know.
I think for me it was more to like for Pokimane, like it's good that the sponsor who was sponsoring Gundam cared, like as in they weren't automatically gonna drop Gundam. It's a Gundam, which was like I said, in a way they kind of made their stance of like, fuck you, we're a company, we can do whatever we want, like we won't be affected by whatever you're saying. But then it's
Exactly.
kind of a different format because like with the whole Keemstar and H3H3 situation, it was the rabid fans that came after the company, right? But this
Yeah, I
one, it
think
was more
so.
of like,
Maybe.
yeah, this one was more of like a more of like she was threatening the company that she will not take the company's offer because she thought that the company might want to ever ask her to be sponsored by them. Apparently, in her big brain of hers, in her big head of hers. But
Uh-huh.
but yeah, I think the equivalent would be that one, the potential sponsor who eventually did not want to sponsor him because of the whole situation he made.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably a good example of like similarity between the H3H3 and Keemstar situation.
Yeah, and that's like basically what I thought was like it's it's just like you can see the effect of console culture whether it is effective or not, whether you think
Yeah,
it's effective or not.
yeah,
You can at
yeah.
least see that there is an effect.
There is an effect. Yeah, for sure, I agree.
And yeah, that's basically what the only two things that I wanted to present, which was like H3H3 and the Pokimane thing, because like it's for me it's just an interesting event. It's an interesting effect of like the idea that like companies don't care in particular. They like so the
Oh, they
if there are
they don't
enough
care.
fans to drop them, they will drop you. But
Oh yeah,
there are cases where like if you don't present it well, like in the case of like Pokimane's case, like with ridgewallet,
yeah, yeah,
right? You might just see a like reverse argument, like essentially like you might see the opposite effect.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
this is in an event. This is in the event that the companies are also kind of like, I guess I have to say the word, but like they're woke enough to be able to stand their ground. So no matter how many people are against them sponsoring this one person, they're still like whatever. Like doesn't matter. We're still gonna sponsor. Maybe because they have the capacity or they have the financial stability to keep sponsoring this person, or they think
Mm-hmm.
it's just gonna pass.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
I
exactly.
think with the what is it, Red Wing? Is it Red Winch? What was the sponsor's name? Oh my god!
Oh, Rich Wallet,
Yeah, Rich
is it? Yeah,
Rocket.
yeah,
Yeah,
Rich Wallet. Yeah.
Rich Rocket. I just thought
No,
like
no, it's
it's
wallet, as in wallet, like a wallet. Where you keep your
yeah,
money.
just say Rich
Rich Wallet.
Rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I said in the case example of Rich Wallet, like at least with
Mm-hmm.
them, they took a stance and they were like, instead of like trying to plead under Pokimane's rule, they went out of their own creative way of trying to show her, hey, we don't need you too, which is
I'm not
interesting.
sure if they stood their ground or because here's the thing. I'm not sure whether they stood their ground saying like, oh, we don't like we hate Pokemon or whatever, or it's just a coincidence. But it's just funny to me when I saw the fact that like the moment there's like all these YouTubers basically making fun of Pokemon or whatever,
They were sponsored
like all
by
these
by
YouTubers they
them.
were getting sponsored by Ridge Wallet. I just found that hilarious. I think
Oh,
because
but
I think
so you
yeah,
uh-huh.
because the thing is that either way, right?
Uh-huh.
Because like Ridgeworld has sponsored It's a Gundam already. The damage has been done,
Right,
whether they like
right,
it or not.
right.
Right? Like Pokimane is
Right.
not gonna accept Ridge Wallet at all, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like they're not gonna accept a sponsorship from like Ridge Wallet. So what the fuck would she care? What the fuck would they care? They've already lost their potential like a potential salesman for their product. Might as well just you know like focus on people who are going to be against her anyway.
That's true. Because I feel
Yeah,
like, but
yeah.
I think in good hindsight, it's that for me, it's that Pokimane didn't ask her friends to go after Rich Wallet. She made a stance for herself, which I thought was like, even though it's kind of a dick move and a bad way to do it, it's still not as bad as what had happened with H3H3 and Keemstar, where like they literally, in a way, kind of like instigated their fans to go after the company to drop each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then in that light of like that other big company who stayed away because of Pokimane's actions, I guess in a way, yeah, that is the more effective kind of way. I mean, that was the more effective result as compared to Ridge Wallet groveling down her knees and telling her, sorry, we're sponsoring him, we're gonna drop him.
Yeah.
But I think what's disturbing to me was the part where, if I'm not wrong, she actually went to his video and like disliked it, right? And like her fans started to dislike the videos as well for her, right?
Yeah, they also like she made a comment and she
Yeah.
was like getting upset at the fact that like her comment was deleted by It's a Gundam. Now the thing is that I'm not sure whether it is because I did
Uh
see that
huh.
comment. So I actually saw the comment on It's a Gundam's YouTube video. So I'm not sure what she's
Yes.
talking about. But I think that's on like I think it has something to do with YouTube. Like because
Backing her
YouTube
up.
has like weird thing with comments. Like they sometimes they'll like move comments around, like they shuffle them around,
Yep. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Now the
right? So
layout is so weird
yeah,
on phone.
yeah,
Yep.
the way the layout on phone is super fucking weird. Yeah, but um, I think they shuffled the comments around. That's why some people didn't see, like specifically Pokimane or like other people did not see Pokimane's comment. But I saw the
Mm.
comment and like she her comment on the video was basically her saying like I do not appreciate you basically like I don't remember the exact comment like forgive me regarding that but
Yep.
it's something regarding the fact that I don't appreciate you bashing on like me or whatever like I don't see like you could have just said something in a polite way
Yep. Yep.
yeah, and so on and so forth but here's the thing again like I said he wasn't even making fun of you. He's making
Exactly.
fun of the people. Yeah, he was making fun of the people who were simping on you. And like
Yep.
as a
Yep.
and also as like a content creator, as like a big influencer, right? You should be at least be slightly concerned. Because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think when like when she was tackled regarding this, she basically replied saying that uh what do you call it? Like she replied saying like it's just a joke, it's just a joke like Twitter post like it's not actually serious. No one is actually going homeless or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah. I heard it eventually was just like a joke kind of thing, but I mean, but at the end of the day, the video of It's a Gundam was never about her. It was just about how ridiculous her followings can be, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But is it okay? Correct me if I'm wrong. So she basically went to his video, disliked it, right? Because she said that
Hmm.
that quote that you said. Guess what? I'm gonna whatever today with her tone, right?
Uh-huh.
She disliked the video, right? Did
Well, oh,
she?
it's a Gundam. Yes.
Yeah, did she send her fans to also follow her by disliking the video?
I have no idea. But the thing is that since she streamed the video on her like Twitch,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. Like even like she didn't send them directly, but the fact that like she basically didn't like the video, it's like already like her fans is gonna dislike it anyway,
For her and
whether or
on her
not.
behalf.
Yeah, on her behalf, whether she likes it or not,
Yeah.
or whether she commented or not, you know.
Yeah. So it's kind of dangerous the power that you might have if you have such a large following. Right?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think all in all, I find it. I do believe that cancel culture is definitely a. And like you said, I mean, I also said, I mean, we both agree that even though it might not effectively be put into place where people get totally 100% canceled or like get dropped 100%, there are still effects coming from it, whether it be
Hmm.
potential sponsors dropping you or your reputation no longer being as valid as it was before. It has its own effect, whether it's small or big.
Yep.
um yeah, and I guess, do you have anything else to add before we close up our podcast for today?
Um, it's just I don't really have any additional comments, at least regarding those two. But
Yeah.
it's just I wanna like prefacing like cancel culture, in my opinion, is bad no matter what. Like even if it's people that you don't like, because here's the thing: what happens if it gets hit? Like if you're on the other end of that stick, if that makes any sense. Because you can
Oh,
let's say there's like this you know famous person or something on the internet, and like
yeah, yeah,
you found out that this person is like racist or sexist or whatever,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And you called them out on it, saying like, oh, this person is a racist, blah blah blah, and you try to cancel them, and they do get canceled one way or another. Let's say they lost sponsorship or whatever, right?
yeah, yeah.
That's great and all, or something for you. Like in your head, it's like, yes, this person is canceled. That's good. That's
You
great.
did some
We don't
justice,
need people.
apparently.
Yeah, we did.
Sky
You feel like
Jackson.
you do. Yeah, Skyjacks. You feel like you've had some impact in the world. You have like you did justice, and I think that's like the main motivation of cancel culture. Is like some people who actually do it feel like they have some kind of impact in the world. I think that's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the like motivation behind it.
yep. I
But
can
what
definitely
if
see that.
it's yeah? But like, what if you get hit on the other end of that stick? What if you're the one getting canceled and you have and no matter how hard you try to defend yourself, even with evidence, right?
Nobody cares.
You're gonna
Yeah,
nobody cares. You're gonna get fucked, right?
yeah, yeah.
One example of this that like I noticed the most is probably the one that we talked about yesterday, which is regarding the Jeffree Star. Who is it?
Manny.
Ta, ta, Tati.
Ah, Tati, Tati. Yep, yep, yep.
And who's the other one?
James Charles, Manny.
James Charles. Yeah, yeah. So like for example, Tati was like trying to cancel James Charles. James Star was contacting Jeffree Star, and Jeffree Star was like, "No, man, what are you doing? Blah blah, blah this and that." It's like
Yeah,
it's and the thing is that for all those people, no matter how they defend themselves, especially James Charles, right?
right.
Like he tried to defend himself so hard, but he still lost at the end of the day. He still like lost to like you mentioned. I think yesterday was like he lost
2 million.
two
Yeah,
million subscribers,
yeah.
even though he tried to defend himself, and it's
Oh,
pretty
the the
shitty.
sad
Like it's
the
hmm?
sad part about him was that he lost 2 million subscribers without having justified himself yet. So once the video from
Oh,
Tati, yeah. So once the video from Tati came out, it blew out of proportion. 2 million people dropped him within a few days, and then he only clarified it a few days or a week later with all the facts, all the evidence, and that's where people started to realize, oh, we might have done it too quickly. Like we might have judged the situation too fast. We didn't hear his end of
really?
the story. Yeah.
Because I remember that video that he made was still not particularly taken very well,
Oh, oh yeah,
if I
yeah, yeah.
remember.
It's his apology video, right?
Yeah, his apology video wasn't
Right,
taken very well either.
right.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think what I was talking about was the video after that. So apparently he went quiet. He became like kind of docile. So he just apologized what he did, and people didn't believe him. That's why he dropped his subs. And then a few days later on, or a week after, he came out with the facts. Like I think it was a 1 hour video of like he just explained the entire situation in his own
Hmm.
like chronology, in his own chronology, and then he gave the proof, and that's when people realized that like, oh shit, like he actually has some evidence to his claims that what Tati is saying some of them were not true, you know?
Yeah, but the damage has been done. That's the thing.
Exactly. Exactly.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just really don't like cancel culture, no matter the case. Like even if it has the impact of like canceling someone or whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just bad. Like I think regarding Twitter specifically, because like like I mentioned last time that the only reason I joined Twitter was like to follow on like some Japanese musicians and artists, right? And
Yep.
like just
Yep.
some Japanese personalities, because they're pretty active there on Twitter as well.
Yep.
But like compared to the cancel culture and like the toxic Twitter that I'm and a lot of people on the internet are aware of, Japanese
Yep.
Twitter don't give a shit. Japanese
Oh no.
Twitter
Yeah.
is like, yeah, Japanese Twitter will not fall for whatever social justice bullshit you're trying to
Yeah.
uh put on top of like on them. Because like I remember um like I'm not sure whether you were aware of this meme, but there was a point in time where people were basically making parodies of a Sailor Moon picture.
Okay. I think is it because like everybody's drawing this one same particular scene of Sailor Moon?
Yeah, that one. But like,
Yep.
there's a
Yep.
particular scene regarding Sailor Moon, and then basically
Yep.
like they
Yep.
memed it. Basically, they either
Yep.
they changed it one way or another, or they changed the art style,
Yep.
whatever,
Yep.
right?
Yep. And then now there's
Yeah,
like a
and there
versus
was like
Hatsune Miku thing.
and I think at some point, like at least the like Twitter, like the Western Twitter, like
Yep.
the toxic side of Twitter, made it
Yep.
political or something. I can't remember
What
what
the
the image
shit?
was about.
How? But
They try to make
okay.
it political. Yeah, they try to make it political and like I don't know, dude. Like,
God.
again, Twitter is a very toxic place.
Yes.
They
Yes.
try to somehow made it into like a political thing, and a lot of Japanese people, especially people who are like, oh, because Sailor Moon is Japanese, right? So they have an
Right.
opinion
Right.
regarding it. It's like
Right.
they're very upset at the fact that like Twitter, like people on Twitter was like trying to make this into a political thing. This was supposed to be a fun little thing that people can like rally upon and like
Yes.
like have fun, right? Instead,
Yes.
there's people out there on Twitter trying to like make people get divided and stuff like that. And it's just hilarious the fact that like on one side of Twitter, it's like there's this really
Chill.
toxic cancel culture
Oh yeah.
side of Twitter, and meanwhile there's like literally groups of people who just don't give a fuck, and that's just
And
very
like
funny.
just chill. They're just whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that you make a good point. Like I mean, like I said, I don't think cancel card. Oh, say words. I also don't think that cancel culture is a good. Well, I think down the line something's gonna go down, which will be way worse than what we be. But we'll have to see what
Mm-hmm.
happens next. Like what's going to be the next like canceling fate that's gonna happen. Canceling fad.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess like for our key takeaways, I guess since do you have anything else you wanna discuss on?
No, that's it.
Okay,
Pretty much
so I guess
covered.
for us to just let this episode die out and be sent to some part of the internet that nobody will listen and probably we won't get our ass bit in a few years time. Um,
Yeah, like I mean, we were so serious in the previous one. If like
yeah.
people canceled us by any chance, oh man, it's gonna suck.
No, I would laugh and then I would just edit this part and we just glue it in where it's like, man, we were
Yeah,
not
here it is.
serious.
We saw it coming.
We saw it coming, so we're prepared. Whatever.
We were
Um,
prepared. Whatever, dude.
yeah. So I guess for our key takeaways would just be, what is your key takeaway for this episode today?
Hmm. So my key takeaway is like specifically for my segment is that cancel culture is shit. And don't think cancel culture is good in any way because if you can point that like it's a weapon essentially, right? Like a
Yep. Yep.
gun.
Yep.
You can
Yep.
point it to someone else, but that someone else can also point it back at you. Just be aware,
Oh, for sure. Yep. Yep. Yep.
regarding that fact.
Okay. I think my key takeaway would just be everyone has their flaws. People can
Mm-hmm.
change, people can learn, people can be for the better, you know? So just be careful with the power that you have over other people if you even have a power. especially if you have a large following. That's something to be conscious about when you're dealing with judging other people or something like that. Because you might make it as a comment, a flying comment, a passing comment, but it might be a huge, big effect against them later on down the road.
Yeah, pretty much.
And yeah, and also Sky Jackson, stop thinking, God, just stop it. Who are you? I don't. I'm not asking her to be canceled, but I'm just saying, she needs to realize what she's doing is fucking wrong. God.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess. I'm probably gonna get attacked if this ever resurfaces and her followers come get my ass. Whatever. I'm prepared. Whatever. Yeah. So I guess that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening in to our podcast. It's a bit wonky here and left. It's a bit also serious now and then, but I hope next week we get we get a more lighthearted topic about. Yeah. See you next week.
See ya.